Another loaded gun is found in school.
A PGCTV student allegedly brings a ghost gun to a high school. I'm Katara Jones. I have all the details on this developing story coming up on CTV News.
And Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Find out where you can go to get a fresh one. That and more, all coming up next on CTV News.
Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. We're learning more about an incident in which a student allegedly brought a loaded weapon to Bowie High School on Tuesday. CTV's Katira Jones is outside of the school with more details.
A Bowie High School student is in some serious trouble after allegedly bringing a loaded ghost gun onto school grounds yesterday. We now know that Bowie student is a 15-year-old boy. Bowie police took him into custody on Tuesday, and he was sent to the Cheltenham Youth Detention Center. Now, the principal, Joe Kotzer, sent a letter out to parents, and in that letter, it says that the student entered the school through a, quote, back door that was propped open. That student was then searched by school security, and the weapon was found. Now, Bowie police are saying that the weapon in question is a ghost gun that had a 30-round extended magazine, and a spokesperson for the school district says that student will face disciplinary action. Katara Jones, CTV News.
And Bowie police say it stepped up its presence at the school today as a precaution. Well, a government shutdown is once again averted despite GOP conservatives, but only until early 2024. The U.S. House passed Speaker Mike Johnson's plan to extend federal funding last night, but Democrats supplied the much-needed votes to pass the bill. The approval comes with a special expedited procedure that required a supermajority. The Senate is expected to pass the legislation and send it to President Biden's desk within days. The measure funds federal agencies at current spending levels with two expiration dates, January 19th for one set of government programs and February 2nd for another. Well, the debate continues over the GSA's decision to bring the new FBI headquarters to Greenbelt. Yesterday, the House of Representatives held a hearing where the GSA administrator was grilled about the choice. Representative Jamie Raskin tells CTV News that Greenbelt was the right choice.
It was a fair process that had objective criteria that were identified in the process, and they used the exact same process they use in every other decision about locating a federal building. So, it may be controversial to some of my colleagues from Virginia, but it's certainly over. It came to the end of the process, and the site location authority decided that the best choice was in Greenbelt. And that was based on a whole bunch of factors. It's the cheapest place to do it.
And Raskin says that he is open to an investigation into the decision to move the FBI to Greenbelt. Meantime, one Maryland state senator says that the work has only just begun. Senator Jim Rosapep says that the move will all boil down to funding.
Well, it's a big deal if it happens. I mean, it's past a major milestone with the GSA recommending that it come to Greenbelt, but it hadn't been funded yet. And so that will play out over the next couple of years in terms of what the president proposes and what the Congress decides to allocate for it.
And in other news tonight, a well-known Maryland doctor comes under scrutiny after allegedly expressing support for the slaughter of Palestinians. The Council on American Islamic Relations alleges that Dr. Darren Klugman made racist social media posts targeting Palestinians and endorsing genocide against them. CARE says the pediatric cardiologist from Johns Hopkins Hospital referred to Palestinians as barbaric animals and expressed support for their large-scale slaughter and forced displacement. Klugman used the name Dr. Klugs for social media, but the site has since been taken down. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Coming up, TSA is expecting high numbers this holiday season. The details next. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Belinda, and this is Willard, and we were adopted in 2021. When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile, and he has a big heart to match.
The energy you give Todd, you get it back from Todd.
Yeah.
Todd's a joy.
Yes,
Todd
he is.
really is a great joy.
I love him. You and you.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back. County Executive Angela Alsobrooks continues to rack up endorsements in her run for a U.S. Senate seat. Two unions, IBEW Locals 1970, are throwing their support behind Alsobrooks. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers say they're supporting her campaign because of her record of supporting working families. Alsobrooks is running to replace Ben Cardin, who is not running for re-election. Well, a triple murder sentence is reduced for a man in prison since he was 17 years old. 52-year-old Philip Clements was sentenced to 5 consecutive life terms for a 1989 triple murder. Clements' sentence was already reduced in 2019 to 65 years. That followed a U.S. Supreme Court ruling stating that life sentences for crimes committed as a juvenile were illegal. The new decision by the Prince George's Circuit Court reduces his sentence to 55 years for the killings of Catherine Gatlin and her 2 children, Nancy and John Borowski. The new sentence means he could be released in about 5 years. Well, in just 2 short days, the Thanksgiving holiday travel period is expected to kick off. TSA anticipates Thanksgiving travelers nationwide will begin heading to the airports this Friday, November 17th. Officials say they plan on screening more than 30 million people through security checkpoints during this time. The 2 busiest days before Thanksgiving are expected to be Tuesday, November 21st, and Wednesday, November 22nd. The Thanksgiving holiday travel period will run until Tuesday, November 28th. And after the break, Farm to Table has a whole new meaning. That story plus sports. Don't go away.
I'm Byron Scott in Fulton, Maryland, where it's that time of year again that I get to hang out with the turkeys. We'll have that story coming up.
Hey everybody, and coming up on your Wednesday sports page, PGCC men's basketball player Devin Dowdy gives his thoughts on the team's chemistry for the 2023 season. Don't go anywhere.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, with the Thanksgiving holiday just around the corner, one local farm is gearing up for the big rush. More and more families are looking for farm-to-table options, and that takes us to Shonuff Farm. Byron Scott has our story.
So the turkey started in 1938. The farm has been here since the 1800s.
As it has for the past 85 years, Shonuff Turkey Farm in Fulton has been supplying fresh birds to area families. Getting ready for the holiday season means getting ready during the summer months. That's when the first orders go out for day-old baby turkeys.
Baby turkeys are called poults. We get poults all summer long, every 2 weeks, starting about the beginning of July through the end of August. That gives us the opportunity at Thanksgiving time to have turkeys of all different all different sizes.
By the time the ordering is said and done, Shonuff will have amassed a flock of thousands of feathered fowl.
Just over 20,000, knowing that we're going to have some loss so that we can process just under 20,000 turkeys.
Raising poultry is not without its serious challenges. Show Enough avoided last year's outbreak of avian influenza, which infected flocks in Pennsylvania.
Biosecurity is one of our major concerns. We don't want to have people, like last year we didn't let you come to the farm. We didn't do any interviews here at the farm because we wanted to limit the interaction with people. Even if they didn't have poultry or birds of their own, we wanted to limit the people that were interacting with the birds, just to limit any cross-contamination.
Processing of the turkeys got underway last Wednesday. Borer says the farm tries to make it as stress-free as possible for the birds.
So one of the things that makes our farm different is all the birds walk from where they're raised in the barns to our processing facility. They're not trucked, they're not caged, they're not crated. They walk, we open up fences. These birds are naturally curious. So we'll open a barn, like before lunch today, we opened a barn, probably 1,000 of them came outside, we shut the doors. We use a broomstick with a trash bag on it as a visual stimulus, and that gets the birds to move. We herd them to our processing plant, and then that's where we process the turkeys.
With Thanksgiving a little more than a week away, the biggest day here at the farm and these guys is next Tuesday.
We will have a line that will be about a 30-minute line. There'll be cars parked all down the driveway, out in the front yard, and we'll probably have 2,500 to 3,000 customers that day.
We got 31 pound today.
The Bobros of Damascus decided to pick up their bird early.
We love the product, yes, and the reason we returned this year is because we have a big family gathering at my daughter's and our son-in-law's house, and we need a big one this year.
For the farm, the big rush is part of the payoff.
When you come out here on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and see people waiting in line for 30 minutes for a product that you've spent all summer taking care of, it's a pretty good ego boost that you know and you're doing the right thing.
In Fulton, Byron Scott, CTV News.
And Show Enough Turkey Farm is located on Route 216 in Fulton. Well, it is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for our Pet of the Week. Meet Nix. She is a 7-year-old black cat. Animal management says that Nix is a senior and has a laid-back personality.
Nix has a very chill personality. She would be perfect in a home where there's not a lot of activity going on. She does require a little bit of a softer food, so she would have to eat wet food. Other than that, she's full of love. She still has energy, so I would definitely consider adopting Nix if you wanted a companion.
November is Adopt a Senior Pet Month, and to celebrate, Animal Management is waiving all adoption fees for senior pets. If you want to adopt Nix or any of her furry friends, you can call 301-782-7200.
Okay, sports fans, it's time for your Wednesday sports page. The PGCC men's basketball team has a couple of new players on the team that are looking to contribute to a winning season for the Owls. It can be difficult establishing chemistry with new teammates, but combo guard Devin Dowdy says that building that connection has been going well so far.
The new faces are responding well. Us returners, we're pouring into them, letting them know what we've been through and what we've gone throughout the game, and they're responding well. So, they're picking up well, and we're looking forward to it.
The Owls had a great season last year, winning 25 out of 30 games, but Dowdy gives his thoughts on how the team can be even better this season.
Just staying together. I feel like throughout the season there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, so staying together is really going to be the biggest thing for us, and I feel like this is the team to do it.
The Owls take the court next versus Washington Adventist University tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Moving on to more college hoops news, Lady Terps guard Cheyenne Sellers has been named to the watch list for the John Wooden Award. This award honors the most outstanding men and women's players in college basketball. Sellers has gotten off to a hot start to begin the season, averaging 23 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. Sellers was also named to the preseason All-Big Ten team as well earlier this year. Sellers and the rest of the Terps will be in action tomorrow against Connecticut at 6:30. Another Terps guard, and Jameer Young, was also named to the Wooden Award watch list. Young has started the season off well, putting up averages of 15 points, 6 assists, and 4 boards a game. Young also recently eclipsed the 2,000-point mark in the Terps matchup against Davidson. Before the season, he was also named to the preseason All-Big Ten team as well. Young and the rest of the Terps will match up next versus Villanova on Friday. And that is your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
That wraps up our CTV News Update. Thanks for joining us.